Hi students, in this video I'll be going through the 2016 O-Level Paper 2 question 10. Alright, so this is a question regarding problems in real world context. Right, so let's read the question. Okay, Peter produces the newsletter for Sports Club. So each newsletter is printed in black. Okay, so we need to underline the important information as we read the question. Alright, so each newsletter is printed in black on both sides of 4 sheets. Okay, so 4 sheets, okay, of A4 paper. So if you print on both sides of 4 sheets of paper, means each newsletter has 8 pages. Okay, 8 pages. Okay, so each newsletter uses 4 pieces of paper, and you print on both sides of the paper. So total there will be 8 pages for each newsletter. Okay, Peter posts the newsletter to the subscriber 6 times each year. So for each subscriber, he will receive this newsletter 6 times a year, right? Okay, information that Peter needs is on the opposite page. Okay, Peter uses a C5 envelope. Okay, so a C5 envelope to post the newsletter. He finds that a C5 envelope containing 4 sheets of A4 paper, that means a C5 envelope containing one newsletter, okay, weighs approximately 25 grams. So they ask you how much will it cost to post one copy of the newsletter. Right, so this is usually the type of question that you will encounter for the last question in paper 2, whereby they will give you a lot of information, and then you have to use the information appropriately. Okay, so extract out the correct information for different parts of the question in order to answer the question successfully. Okay, so over here they are asking how much will it cost to post one copy of the newsletter. So one copy of the newsletter will be one newsletter plus one C5 envelope, okay, and it weighs approximately 25 grams. Okay, so let's head over to the next page to see what kind of information is given to us and how we can use it to answer this first part of the question. Okay, so over here they give you this diagram, okay, so with some mailing charges and below the cost of some stationery supplies. So the first part we are interested in the cost of mailing one newsletter, right? So we should be looking at this information at the top part of the page, okay? Okay, so for mailing over here, okay, the cost, okay, which is given in this column, this second column, right? Okay, depends on the weight of the package that we are mailing. So if you recall for this question, each envelope plus one newsletter weighs approximately 25 grams, right? Okay, so we need to search down this first column, okay, and find the appropriate mass. Okay, and then we go to the second column to look at the cost. Alright, so over here, it should be standard mail that we are interested in, right? So because it doesn't say anything that this particular newsletter in the envelope is something that is non-standard, right? Okay, so what does it mean by weight step up to? Okay, so now we need to interpret what this means, weight step up to. Alright, so 20 grams, 40 grams, 100 grams. So what do all this mean? Okay, so for 20 grams, okay, it actually means that is anything that is 20 grams or lesser. Okay, so the weight over here, okay, is anything that is less than or equals to 20 grams. That means all the way from something that is very, very light, okay, maybe just 1 gram, all the way up to 20 grams. Okay, if you are mailing something like that, then it will cost 30 cents, right? $0.3. Okay, then how about weight step up to 40 grams? Okay, so weight step up to 40 grams would mean that anything that is more than 20 grams, okay, but less than or equals to 40 grams, okay, then will be $0.37. Okay, then of course, weight step up to 100, okay, would mean that anything that is now more than 40, okay, but less than or equals to 100 grams, then we will consider it under this category, right? Okay, so what we are mailing currently is now 25 grams. So it should be quite obvious that 25 grams falls within this range, right? More than 20, but less than or equals to 40. And so the mailing cost for each newsletter with the envelope would be 37 cents, right? Or $0.37. And that will be the answer to part A of the question. Okay, so usually the first couple of parts of the question is actually quite easy to answer. Especially the first part, you should be able to extract information directly from the table itself. Okay, so 0.37. Okay, to mail one copy of the newsletter. Okay, let's move on to part B of the question. So they start to give us more info. He estimates that there will be 150 subscribers to the newsletter. So there will be 150 people who subscribe to the newsletter. So now they're asking about toner cartridges. How many toner cartridges will Peter need to print the newsletters for 1 year? Okay, so let's head over to the table and look at toner cartridges. Okay, so let's head over to the table. Okay, so over here you can see toner cartridges. All right, over this part, this table. Okay, so now we are printing in black, right? If you go all the way back to the first line, okay, the first couple of lines, you see we are printing in black. Okay, so that's why it's very important for you to underline important info, so that you don't have to keep rereading the whole question over and over again, which is going to take up a lot of time. Okay, so now you are printing in black. Okay, so the number of toner cartridges you need will depend on the number of pages you are printing, because each toner cartridge on average can print 1,300 pages. Okay, so which means that in order to solve this question, right, to know how many toner cartridges we need to know how many pages are we printing, okay, for all the subscribers in 1 year. Okay, then after that we just divide by 1,003. Then we will know how many toner cartridges we need. Okay, so you've got to come up with a plan like this, a simple plan, okay, in order to answer the questions, okay, which are actually not difficult. Okay, so let's take a look over here. Okay, so it estimates that there will be 150 subscribers to the newsletter. So how many toner cartridges will he need? So remember, what we need to do is we need to find out how many pages to be printed, right? Okay, so if you recall, each newsletter is 8 pages, all right? Okay, so if you have 150 subscribers and each subscriber will receive 6 newsletters in a year, right? Wait, sorry. Okay, each subscriber will receive 6 newsletters in a year. Then we'll take 150 times 6. That will be the number of newsletters we will mail out. And then each newsletter is 8 pages. Then we'll be able to find out how many pages we are going to print. All right, so let's go ahead and do that. So number of pages, okay, number of pages to be printed. Okay, it's going to be 150 subscribers. Each one you mail 6 times, and then for each newsletter is 8 pages, right? So 8 pages. Okay, so this is going to give us 7,200 pages. Okay, so in total, for the whole year, we're going to print 7,200 pages. Okay, so if you recall, each cartridge can print on average 1,300 pages. So that will allow us to calculate the number of cartridges that we need. Okay. Okay, so another important thing about solving questions like this is you need to write clear annotations. Okay, so write clear annotations. Okay, so that the examiner knows what you are calculating. Okay, for each step. Okay, so number of toner cartridges will be 7,200 divided by 1,003. Okay, which will give you 5.54. Okay, but we can't be buying just 5.54 cartridges. We need to round it up to the nearest whole number. Okay, so round up, okay, to nearest whole number. Okay, so this means that we will need to buy 6 toner cartridges. Okay, buy 6 toner cartridges. Okay, so you can see that it's actually not too difficult, okay, to solve questions like this. Okay, let's read the last part of the question. So the last part of the question is usually a 6-mark, 7-mark question. Okay, where they ask you to justify certain decisions that you make. Okay. Okay, so Peter needs to decide how much he should charge subscribers for the newsletter. Okay, so now he's going to print the newsletter. It's going to cost money because of mailing charges. cost of paper, cost of printing, etc. Right? So after that, he must decide how much is he going to charge the subscribers. Okay, so he must make sure that he charges enough money to cover all of his costs. Okay, so he want to cover all of his costs. Okay, so he needs to charge a certain amount, okay, such that he can cover all the costs that he's going to make, right? Okay, suggest a sensible amount. So sensible amount. So this means that there could be varying answers, okay, from different people, right? But as long as you're able to justify the amount that you write down, then you should be able to get the marks, right? Okay, for a 1-year subscription. Okay, so charge them for 1-year subscription to the newsletter. Okay, so justify the decision that you make and show your calculations clearly. Okay, so for a question like this is 7 marks, so there's a lot of marks involved. Okay, which means that before you start doing, you need to come up with a plan. Okay, so this part that I'm writing, it's not part of the solution, but I just want to help you to think, okay, for this kind of question, right? How are you going to come up with an appropriate plan in order to solve the question correctly? Okay, so now we're going to come up with a plan. Okay, come up with a plan. Okay. Okay, so there are two ways we can go about doing this question. Okay, we need to know how much to charge each subscriber, right? Okay, to charge suggest a certain amount for him to charge for 1-year subscription newsletter for each subscriber. Okay, so are we going to calculate how much it's going to cost to print the newsletter and mail the newsletter for 1 subscriber, and then after that we decide on that amount that we are going to charge him? Or are we going to calculate the total cost, okay, of all the printing, mailing, etc., okay, for all the subscribers? And then after that, we divide by 150 to find how much to charge for 1 subscriber. Okay, so now we have 2 options, okay, directly calculate, okay, cost for 1 subscriber, okay, okay, or are we going to, okay, calculate the total cost for all subscribers and then divide it by 150, okay, to find out how much we are going to charge for 1 subscriber. Okay, so this is when you need to go back and look at the information given to you in the table over here. Okay, so you can see that for things like paper, okay, there's a bulk price. Bulk price means if you buy more, okay, you will be charged lesser. Okay, so there's a bulk price over here. Okay, as well as for envelopes, okay, there's a bulk price. If you buy in packs of 10, it's going to be 150. But if you buy in packs of 500, it's going to be only $34. Okay, so if you buy in packs of 10, 150, right? Okay, let's say you buy 100 pack, okay, that will be 10 times of 150. So 100 is already $15. Okay, which means that if you buy 300, it's going to be more than $34. 300 alone is going to be $445 already. Correct? So buying in packs of 10 is not going to be worth it. Okay, we want to buy more at the same time so you get a better price. Okay, so based on this bulk pricing thing, okay, it's definitely going to be better, right? If you calculate how much your paper, okay, envelopes you are going to need for all the subscribers, then you buy in bulk at the start of the year, and then after you slowly use it throughout the whole year, okay, then that's going to cut down on the cost. Okay, so in going by this rationale, okay, it will be better to calculate the total cost, right? To take this approach for the subscriber and then divide by 150, and then you know how much to charge the subscribers. Okay, so basically when you do this kind of questions, the examiner is looking at your thought process. Okay, how are you going to approach the question, right? Okay, so we are going to go to calculate the total cost for all subscribers and then divide it by 150, right? Okay, so let's start one by one. What are the different costs that we're going to take? So the first one will be, let's do mailing cost first, okay? Mailing cost. So mailing cost is already inclusive of 7% GST, so you need to take note of this thing also. okay, as you read the table. Okay, so it already include 7% GST. Okay, so let's calculate how much it's going to mail. Okay, for you're going to take to mail all the newsletters to 150 subscribers 6 times a year. Okay, so how to present your answer is a 7-mark question. Okay, you need to use proper annotation. Okay, so what I'm recommending for you is everything that you are going to calculate here. Okay, let's put a title to it. Okay, so firstly, we are going to calculate mailing cost, right? Okay, so let's put a title over here. So mailing cost. Okay, then you go and underline it. Okay, so now you're going to calculate mailing cost under this. And then later on, the next thing you're going to calculate maybe paper cost. Then you write a new title. Okay, so it's going to be very clear throughout your presentation. Okay, so let's calculate mailing cost. Okay, so 150 subscribers. Each subscriber, you are going to mail to them 6 times. And each newsletter will cost 0.37 to mail, right? As calculated in part A. Okay, so total, if you calculate this number, you will get 333. Okay, so this will be the mailing cost already. Right? Okay, so next one, let's calculate the paper cost. Okay, so same thing, let's write a title. Paper cost. Okay, underline it. So anything under this line, okay, we are going to calculate the cost of paper. Okay, so same thing, 150 subscriber. Each subscriber, 6 newsletter a year. Okay, each newsletter, how many pieces of paper do we need? Okay, so if you go back all the way to the start of the question, we wrote it down, right? Okay, 4 sheets of paper, okay, for each newsletter. Okay, so 4 sheets. Okay, so 4 sheets. So it's going to be 3,600 pieces of paper they will need for 1 year. Okay, so let's calculate the number of packs of paper required. Okay, because if you look at paper, it's being sold in packs of 500. Okay, pack of 500. Okay, a pack of 500. Okay, so let's calculate how many packs do we need. Okay, so 3,006 divided by 500. Okay, it's going to be 7.2. Okay, we can't just buy 7.2 packs, so we're going to round up again to nearest whole number. So we need 8 packets. Okay. Okay, so round to the nearest whole number. Okay, so let's see how much it will cost to buy 8 packs of A4 paper. So A4 paper you can buy in 1 pack, okay, which is 390. If you buy more than 10 packs, it's 350. If you buy more than 30 packs, it's 330. Okay, so over here we are just going to buy 8 packs. Okay, so if we buy 8 packs individually, 8 times 390, right? Okay, it's going to cost 3120, right? Okay, so this one will be 8 times 390. Okay, so let's calculate. Is it better to buy 8 packs, okay, at 390 each, or we go for 10 plus pack, okay, which is maybe 11 packs, okay, at 350 each, all right? So 8 times 390 will be 3120. Okay, so if they say 10 plus means more than 10, okay? Okay, so if it's more than 10, minimum will be 11, right? 11 times 350. So 11 times 3.5. Okay, that is going to be 3850 already. Okay, but we do not need so much paper, right? And it will cost more to buy 11 packs. Okay, so in other words, we should settle with for this, right? So 8 packs of 390. Okay, so the examiner wants to see your thought process. Okay, because what they want is the lowest possible cost, right? Okay, because although you want to charge the subscriber a sensible amount, but you do not also want to purposely overspend and then charge him more. Okay, so the cost, okay, for the paper, okay, will be 8 times 390. Okay, so it's going to give us 3120. Okay, so this is the cost of paper. Right, so the next thing after calculating paper will be toner cartridge. Okay, so toner cartridge cost. Okay, so toner cartridge cost. Okay, so toner cartridge we have already calculated in part B, right? That we needed 6 toner cartridges. Okay, so part B answer here. Okay, so if you look at this line, toner cartridge, there's no bulk buying cost. So it's just 147 for each toner cartridge. Okay, so this one is easy to calculate. Okay, so just 6 times 147.00, so you get $882. Okay, so this will be the cost for toner cartridge. Okay, the next one, which is the last one, will be the envelope cost, right? Envelope cost. Okay, so envelope, how many envelopes do we need? So we have 150 subscribers. Okay, each subscriber you mail to them 6 times, right? Okay, so that will be 900 envelopes that you will need. Okay, so let's go over take a look at the envelope. How are they charging for the envelope? Okay, so as mentioned earlier, you need 900 envelopes, correct? You just calculated. So if you buy in pack of 500, then you buy 2 packs. Okay, so 2 packs is going to take $68. Okay, but if you buy, you may think, but I only need 900, I don't need 1,000, right? So can I buy 500 and then another 40 packs? You need another 400, right? So this one you will need times 40. Okay, but if you look at 150 times 40, okay, $1.50 times 40, that's $60 already. Okay, $60 is going to cost way more than buying another 500 packs for just for $34. In fact, you get lesser envelopes, okay, but for more cost. So in this case, it will be better to buy 2 packs of 500, right? Okay, so 2 packs of 500. Okay, so number of packs, okay, will be 900 over 500. So that will give you 1.8, but you can't buy 1.8 packs of 500, so you buy 2 packs, round up to nearest whole number. Okay, so get rid of some of this. No. Okay, so you will need 2 packs. Okay, so cost of envelope will be 2 times $34. Okay, so that will give us $68, right? Okay, so now that we have calculated all the individual costs, we can then total up the cost, and then after that, we will know what is the total cost. We divide by 150, then we will have solved the problem already. Okay, we have answered the question. So total cost. Okay, so this is where you need to go back to the table and look out for more info. Okay, so you see the stationery cost excludes 7% GST. So we will now need, for all the stationery costs, paper, cartridge, and envelopes, we need to add an extra 7%, okay, to account for the GST. Okay, so the total cost will be the mailing cost, which is 333. Okay, so this is for mailing, right? Okay, so I'm just going to write it below. Okay, mailing plus 3120. Okay, so 3120 is for the paper. Okay, so this paper. Okay, plus 882. So 882 is for the toner. Okay, plus another 68. 68 is for envelope. Okay, then this three, okay, has not calculated GST. So we have times 1.07, okay, to include the 7% GST. Okay, so from here you will calculate the total cost to be 1382.88. Okay, so $1,382.88, right? So this is the total cost. Okay, so the total cost, I think we should also underline, right? Okay, so underline it also as a heading. Okay, in fact, I should have written this one below, okay, under the heading. Okay, so now we're going to calculate cost per subscriber. Per subscriber. Okay, so remember this 1382.8 is for 150 subscribers. So the cost per subscriber is going to be 1382.88 divided by 150, right? So it's going to give you 922. Okay, so each subscriber, to cover all the costs, we should charge them at least 922. Right, so but it's difficult to charge people just 922, right? So we should just maybe write off to $9.30. Okay, so what you can write is the sensible amount to charge. Okay, so can underline this one also. Sensible amount to charge would be $9.30 per year, okay, for each subscriber. Okay, so this would cover all the costs that you have spent, okay, for the materials for 1 year. Right, so this is how you solve a question like this. Okay, although they give you a lot of info, but you go step by step, come up with a plan first, go step by step, and most importantly, annotate your solution. Okay, so one of the ways that I presented here is to write a title for each item that you are calculating. Okay, it's also going to make it easier for you to follow along with your working as you go along. Okay, like later on when you want to calculate total cost, right, you know when what value is for what amount. Okay, so for each one, you can also just put a hex like this to indicate that that's the answer for that particular part lah. Okay, for that particular heading. Right, so that will allow you to present your working very clearly, and the examiner can then award you the marks accordingly. Right.